Welcome! If you're into Microsoft Teams devices, carry on listening. If not, hang up, move on, scroll past, doesn't matter. Thursday the 3rd of July here in London for American colleagues, friends, families. Happy 4th of July. We've had a bit of a roller coaster week or two. So I just thought I want to break everything down here and highlight a few key facts and measures you need to take for your Microsoft Teams devices in your organization. First up, I want to touch on Microsoft Teams Rooms certified devices. So Microsoft lists the devices here, what is certified, and Teams Rooms for Android. The devices are certified under the program, blah, 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 blah. It provides a firmware, the model, firmware date, end of certification date, and room size, and Android version. However, this firmware version is the version that was certified originally, i.e. in 2022. It's not the firmware version running now, and I'll show you why. The other thing that's changed is the certification date. It's moved from September 2025 to 2026. That is covered up here. So certification is an extra year, but support remains the same, 2027, for Android 10, for example. How do we look at the latest certified versions? We go to the firmware tab, and in the firmware tab, we jump down, for example, Neat. We will see the current certified version that is in Teams Admin Center. You can see the version is 2nd of April, build 2006, and it's the AOSP firmware. So the AOSP firmware is certified. Publicly, this is known as 25.2.1 software. And obviously the matching Teams clients, now this has been updated, and I'll go on to that in a second, because there's been changes this week with there. So we have the admin agent, and obviously then release date. So June 19th was when we went GA with AOSP firmware. One thing to note is that the Neat frame is not AOSP ready yet. That will follow shortly. I've also had customers say, hey, your device is showing up as Neat frame, so here's the Neat frame under certified devices. That is our Neat frame Teams display device. And again, certification date listed for there. And obviously 2027 is the expiry date, because the Teams display certification is ending in 2025, and then a 2-year effective date afterwards for support from the Teams app and the manufacturer on there. But that will eventually run AOSP software as well. So that's certification out of the way. Devices, what's certified, etc. Again, to remind yourselves, the scheduling panels outside the room are not Neat displays. They are Teams panels, as I've had to remind a customer this week as well. And again, firmware version, what's certified, and what is running in the Teams Admin Center and AOSP firmware. Okay, item number 1. Item number 2, software. So, we had the big update in May, which gave us the ability to have Facilitator. That's rolling out very soon. PTZ controls, and then, again, Microsoft managed policy to help secure attendance against potential threats to accounts using device code flow, or DCF. Now, there was a hint back in May. Back in February, Microsoft announced that they're going to put in place extra things in Intune to stop your devices from being maliciously signed in, etc., or people giving away the code. And if you wanted to do this, you're going to have a Microsoft managed policy in Intune, put in there, report only, and at some point, I think over 45 days, if it wasn't used, then the policy would be turned on to enable. However, on Monday, that turned out slightly different. We'll cover that in a second. So then, fast follow into June, we had another app with real-time tech support, fixes a number of other issues. What we discovered at Neat, actually from the May update and the June update, is that there was an issue that was making the UI performance very slow on the pad. We worked with Microsoft, found the issue, and Microsoft released a new app version that is rolling out. This version is wrong. It's ending in 5603, I believe. This page will be updated at some point. The wrong code was cut and pasted in there. We have a July build. It's in Teams Admin Center. It's GA. It's in the Neat Stable channel. So your devices should be on the July build of the Teams app, but also, even more importantly, it should be on the AOSP firmware version that we saw here. What does that mean? That means it's fully certified and supported by both Neat and Microsoft. So, AOSP, we've been talking about this for a long, long time. AOSP, 15th of May was the first blog post published by Microsoft in 2024, advising you of these changes. Some devices started getting auto updates since the 15th of May and gradually rolled out. So you can see different OEMs started at different times. So we've got the manual updates and then the auto update start. And there's 3 rings. Your validation is like your test devices, your general ring or all your main conference rooms, and then final maybe would be your exec floors if you have set them up. If you haven't touched your rings in Teams Admin Center, then every device will be general. 16 days after the date here. And that's when auto updates will start rolling out to your devices. And they will just pick devices at random during that maintenance window that you've defined either on the device, usually between 1 and 4 a.m, and it will apply that firmware update and migrate the device from company portal to AOSP. Now, there is some homework you need to do. You need to, A, make sure you create an enrollment profile token. We've talked about this for so long, many different videos. I've shown you how to do it. It's 30 seconds. There's no excuses. If you have policy control changes, processes in place, get them done now. If not, all your devices will sign out when they get auto-updated. I cannot stress this enough. You need to start making these changes in your organization, otherwise your devices will sign out. And then, once you've got that, if you have any other Intune policies, they will also need updating. If you've got your token, but you're still having issues, you've got to make sure your conditional access policies are configuring, allowing for Android AOSP. You may have your policies set up today for Android Device Administrator, but you need to change it for AOSP Device Management. So for example, here we go, we create our token, and then we create our compliance policy, and again, your platform must be AOSP. You cannot duplicate your existing policy, you cannot edit your existing policy and change it from DA to AOSP. You have to create a new policy. Even if you haven't done it yet or done any devices, create your policies now. They won't take effect because your devices aren't running the software. So they're there waiting for it. If you're doing other things like filters, filtering for manufacturer name, operation system name, just make a note. On Neat devices, instead of Android, the operating system is listed as Android AOSP, all one word. So change your filter. If you're looking for jailbroken, it's coming up as unknown at the moment. Before, obviously, it was not jailbroken, but now it's showing as jailbroken. That's something we need to double check. So you've got to test a device. I cannot stress enough, you need to test. We've got less than 20 days before this starts rolling out to your tenant, and you're getting the automatic updates. Not from Neat, not from the OEMs, but from the Microsoft Teams Admin Center, where your devices are connected. They are going to get the update. We had another slight issue this week, which we sincerely apologise for. The platform for Neat devices, they automatically got pushed the AOSP feature toggle. Some devices got migrated. And this highlighted how many people were not ready. Again, you may have other OEM devices, and they might be okay, they might be working because you've put your policies in place. But if you've got multi OEMs in your network, you need to have your policies addressing all the different OEMs and all the different permutations of what, how it signs in, etc. Cannot stress this enough. We've got guides, video guides, step-by-step guides on how you do this. If in doubt, open a support case. Call me, message me. We will help you get your devices migrated and up to date. It's a very simple process. Push the firmware from Teams Admin Center and away it goes. It updates, reboots, and then you're ready and have the latest version of software. So this is the Neat rollout plan. 21st of July, your devices will start getting updates. End of. You cannot stop it. These auto updates cannot be stopped anymore. They are going to be pushed out from Teams Admin Center. So even if you put your system on manual channel for Neat, you will still get updates. So a load of FAQs here. Again, your Intune filters, make sure if you're looking at operating system, you're looking at Android AOSP, and maybe change it for contains rather than equals, because you may have had Android, for example. So these are little nuggets we found out this week, because we did obviously have that Premature AOSP Migration, and there are obviously some steps to take. If you're already tested, great. We found so many customers have done the work, prep work, and everything just happened. Okay, maybe a reboot or two. If you hadn't created your token, obviously devices were signing out. You had two options: factory reset, it would have gone back to company portal, or you just create that token, create your policy, reboot the device, and it will sign back in. And again, if it's all happy, just make sure you push that update from Teams Admin Center so it's on that certified firmware. And then you're already moving forward. Finally, I don't know how else to say it, you have to do some homework. You cannot ignore this, otherwise your meeting rooms, your phones, panels, they'll become expensive doorstops, wedges, etc. Make sure you get that token set up. Make sure you test the device, you test the migration. It signs in, it's stable for overnight, it survives reboots, etc. Survives the check-in when the token refreshes. That device code flow, as I mentioned, we can double check that as well. So we go to the tech community within the Microsoft site. Matt Slomka at Microsoft published this yesterday, and you'll see here device code flow. So this may be affecting your systems. So you may have had the Microsoft policy, and what you need to do is make sure you may have to reboot your device 3 times. If you're impatient like I am, you may have to reboot a few times for the policy to resync and check in. I cannot stress enough, you have homework to do, but there's help here to provide you. The community, on our Discord, wherever you need help, we're here to help you and have a successful Microsoft Teams meeting. Happy 4th.